Unfair and discriminatory. That's how Taiwan has described the latest round of import bans from China. Taipei's Songshan Airport is in the by-election spotlight as lawmakers tussle over a potential relocation plan. Many criticize Taiwan's driving conditions, but what is the government doing to solve this problem?
I'm Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus, and I'm here in Taipei where campaigners have organised a Christmas event to raise money for Ukraine.
A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Yin Khvat. Authorities in Taiwan are urging China to rethink its latest actions against importing Taiwan products. As Rick Lauert reports, this time it's mainly beer and liquor that have come under fire.
It's an uncertain time for Taiwan's largest beer and liquor company. The makers of Taiwan beer have been hit by an import ban from China. It's the latest in a slew of economic actions against Taiwan.
在中国市场的部分，因为可能有一些因素干扰，然后造成我们对中国市场的不确定性太多，所以我们的公司策略是从几年前就了解这个问题，所以我们公司的策略就是赶快去开发更多的国际市场来补强。
China claims Taiwan as part of its territory and has upped threats to take the country by force. It's conducted military drills around the island nation and continues to send over military planes and ships. As relations between Beijing and Taipei worsen, China is increasingly slapping bans on Taiwanese products and produce. First it was fruit, then fish, now it's alcohol. China has instituted new customs regulations that it now says Taiwanese exporters are failing to fulfill. Before suspending shipments of 100 types of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, it also widened the number of seafood shut out of the market.
我们有去问说那到底是什么样不合，但是我们没有得到答案。我们也去做比较过了，我们也找不出这个逻辑。
Taiwanese authorities have urged China to remove trade barriers and said they will take the issue to the World Trade Organization.
尤其对台湾更是特别严格、特别歧视，不但时间缩短，而且都是对台湾要求这个要求那个。
On Taiwan's outlying islands of Jinmen, which are just a stone's throw from China, a local opposition lawmaker is taking matters into her own hands. Chen Yuzhen is making a controversial trip to China in an effort to bridge the impasse. Jinmen's famous Gaoliang liquor was among those shut out of the China market.
也会去反映民意，了解说这个到底是需要怎么样具体的文件哈，或者是要有怎么样的沟通的这个管道，希望建立起这样的一个联络窗口。
But Taiwan's foreign minister shrugged off the latest act of economic coercion from Beijing, saying they don't know what they're missing, the great taste of freedom. Taiwan now faces pressure from Beijing on many fronts, militarily, politically and economically. And it's determined to take this latest development in its stride. Howard Chang, Rick Lauert for TaiwanPlus.
A senior politician from Japan's ruling party has said he supports Taiwan's bid to join a regional trade bloc known as the CPTPP. Koichi Hagueda made the comments at a Japan-Taiwan Relations Forum in Taipei. Taiwan applied to join the Tokyo-led bloc in September last year, just 1 week after China applied. All 11 member countries must approve new entrants to the bloc, which accounts for 13% of global trade. Hagueda added that Japan had recently boosted defense spending in response to Beijing's increased military intimidation.
中国はこの30年間で軍事費を40倍近く増やしました。北朝鮮は今年に入って国連安保理決議に違反する弾道ミサイルの発射を これまでにない頻度で繰り返しています。こうした例外なる現実の前にして、中途半端な対応には全く意味がありません。
Taipei's Songshan Airport is finding itself at the centre of a debate in the race for one of the capital's legislative seats. The candidate for the ruling party wants to relocate the airport, but opposition officials say his proposals are just empty words. James Chater reports.
Songshan is a commercial and military airport in the heart of Taiwan's capital. It's where many high-level foreign delegations arrive in Taiwan, including US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi when she visited Taipei in August. And in 2012, it even welcomed Lady Gaga. But the airport is now at the center of debate in a by-election for a Taipei legislative seat. Yin Khvat, the candidate for the governing Democratic Progressive Party or DPP, wants to relocate the airport. He proposes transforming the site into a 213-hectare park that he describes as the lungs of the city. Wu says restrictions on building heights would be lifted for 3,000 hectares surrounding Songshan Airport, which mostly operates domestic flights. He says those could be handled by the newer and larger Taoyuan Airport, where a third runway is due in 2030. Taoyuan Airport is about 40 kilometers west of Taipei's city centre. But Wu's opponent from Taiwan's opposition Kuomintang or KMT says his proposal is just empty words.
在机场迁建，它本来是一个议题，但是呢，就是太多的政治人物都是在选举的时候高谈阔论，选后就不闻不问。
Alex Fei, another KMT legislator, went one step further. He says the American Institute in Taiwan, the US's de facto embassy, opposes relocating Songshan Airport, as it would be used to evacuate Americans in the event of conflict with China. On social media, he wrote, "When a crisis occurs, the AIT's evacuation plan is to meet at Taipei's Dunhua Junior High School and move to Songshan Airport. The AIT opposes relocating the airport. Has Yin Khvat not realized this?" DPP lawmaker Wang Tingyu says the KMT's claims are untrue.
这些蓝委提到说什么 AIT 啦，要用那里撤侨什么，那个早就已经证实了是谎言。听信某一些未经查证的说法哈，来做公共政策的论辩，这个不妥当，也让人家遗憾。
A spokesperson for the AIT told TaiwanPlus, despite recent public comments to the contrary, AIT's position is that decisions related to Songshan Airport rest with the relevant officials here in Taiwan. When Nancy Pelosi arrived in Taiwan in August, the eyes of the world were on Songshan Airport. Now, with weeks to go until polling day, it could find itself in the spotlight for a little longer still. Ricky and James Chater for TaiwanPlus.
For more on the importance of Taiwan's Songshan Airport, our reporter Jaime Ocon spoke to Liu Dehai, adjunct professor of diplomacy at National Zhengzhou University in Taipei.
How important is Taipei's Songshan Airport in terms of a military purpose?
It's very important. Why? Because Taipei is Taiwan's capital. So that means all the central government agencies are around here. So if we can maintain the Songshan Airport for military purposes, in that case, we can have active defense. That means we are not conducting passive defense only. So passive defense, that means you use the anti-air missiles against the aircrafts, all right, jet fighters. That's not enough, because if we have military bases here, then we can deter the enemy's fighters before they approach Taipei. So that's what's so-called active defense, rather than sit here and fire missiles against enemy's fighters. So I think this is very important. So that is why I think we'd better keep Songshan military air base.
And can you talk about why airports like this are important, and this sort of infrastructure, why it's important for Taiwan's defense?
Because Taiwan is an island. That is why if we want to maintain the communication, I'm talking about airplanes or whatever. Basically, this is very important to maintain this logistic conveniency. In that case, no matter it's for the commercial purposes or for the military purposes, Taipei and also New Taipei City and Keelung, 3 cities are very important for Taiwan because it's a capital and metropolitan area of the three cities. So that is why Taipei Airport is very important. Military airport is important. So is the military purposes.
That was our reporter Jaime Ocon speaking to Liu Dehai from National Zhengzhou University's Department of Diplomacy. Taiwan's digital minister is leading a government push to bring the country's small businesses online. Minister Audrey Tang travelled to New Taipei on Sunday to work the till at a traditional oyster noodle restaurant. It's part of her drive to promote the ministry's T-Cloud marketplace scheme. The initiative offers small and medium-sized enterprises up to $980 to help digitalize their business model. Nearly 37,000 firms have taken part so far. The head of Taiwan's Digital Industries Administration says the scheme will launch a new wave of innovation.
This kind of innovation, they need more technology, more digital technology that we help them to upgrade their skill and upgrade their equipment and upgrade their post system.
To learn more about the digital ministry and its efforts to transform Taiwan, our reporter Stash Butler spoke with civic tech activist Isabel Ho.
What's the significance of Taiwan now having a dedicated ministry for digital development? What does that mean?
I think that reflects the expectation of people who want to have changes in the digital infrastructure of the whole society and also in the government. You know, we have this very advanced technology industry, but to me, the society is still very analog society. It is not very digital yet. So I think many citizens want this to be changed.
As you say, Taiwan is this incredibly advanced economy, but in many ways quite an analog society. You know, it's still very reliant on cash. And bureaucracy uses lots of kind of card readers and all this kind of technology that in many parts of the world is already obsolete. Why is that the case?
It's about the mindset of people. And I think most people tend to stay where they are, to stay the status quo, because transformation or change means risk and uncertainty. I think that's the mindset of people which will stop people to face the fact that we have to change.
What's holding the digital ministry back? What are the factors that will make digital transformation in Taiwan difficult?
I think that takes the whole society to achieve this goal. You cannot just rely on the digital ministry, but what digital ministry can do is they should put the resources into the place that will facilitate or build the infrastructure for this digital society or digital transformation to happen.
That was Stash Butler speaking with civic tech activist Isabel Ho. Traffic can be rough in Taiwan, especially in packed cities like the capital, Taipei. A recent CNN article criticized the country's road conditions, calling it a living hell for pedestrians. TaiwanPlus reporter Bing Wang finds out how Taipei's government is working on improving things.
This is one of the busiest intersections in all of Taipei. Tens of thousands of cars, motorcycles, scooters, and even pedestrians cross through these streets every day. A recent CNN article criticized Taiwan's transportation problems, calling it a living hell. The article said a lack of sidewalks and dangerous driving by vehicles furthered these problems. It also cited a U.S. State Department report saying people in Taiwan should be alert to reckless scooters and be careful while walking, as drivers rarely respect the pedestrians' right of way. But many people in Taipei feel it's not as bad as the article may have made it out to be.
我觉得台湾的交通 以台北市区来讲的话，我觉得是非常安全的，因为它有分线道，或者是，而且现在大家都有意识了，不会像以前骑摩托车可能很严重的开来开去之类的，所以我觉得应该有比较好了吧。
安全啊，而且很便利，然后行人就是都很有规矩，很有礼貌，就是会排队。
还是稍微有一点乱啊，就机车太多，然后人车分道不是做得太好，就是有时候走在路上的时候，可能你会还是会担心被车，你开车会担心碰到机车跟人，你人走在路上，你会担心那个什么被车碰到。
Last year, Taiwan's transportation ministry said almost 3,000 people died due to traffic accidents, or 12.67 deaths per 100,000 individuals, which the CNN article says is 6 times higher than Japan and 5 times higher than the UK. Driving violations are common in Taipei, especially during rush hour. The city government is coming up with ways to keep pedestrians safe.
其实，我们也很关心这个议题。近年来，我们在很多措施都是为了加强行人的安全，无论从工程面、从教育面、从执法面，我们同步在进行。
Taipei also introduced an artificial traffic monitoring system that's already being used in 11 places around the capital. The system is being expanded to include more traffic hotspots and will be installed in other cities across the country soon. Technology may not be able to solve all of Taiwan's traffic problems right away, but there's one simple solution for pedestrians to keep safe on the streets. It's to look both ways before crossing the street. Andy Xue and Bing Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
An annual baseball tournament for Taiwanese youth has just wrapped up. The Care Cup aims to help children living in remote areas, particularly those from indigenous communities. All of the teams have indigenous players or are from remote parts of eastern Taiwan. The winner of this year's competition was Taidong's Beinan Elementary. The school has a long history of playing baseball, but it's their first Care Cup title in 8 years. Coach Lian Zhiyuan said that he was proud of the team's progress.
这7天让我看到他们就是很多地方都不用去提醒，因为前面很多比赛过了，在前面的比赛都提醒过的东西，今天这4天几乎都没有再提醒，代表他们已经长大有进步了。
Coming up, there's a fish called the white diamond of Penghu. Stay with us to find out what it is.
Hi, it's Sharon here on Legit Mando. Today we're teaching the Mandarin word.
我可以拜托你一件事哦，我求求你。
拜托。
Please, please, I beg you.
我们来哈拉2句啦，要讲什么？
我是你的麻吉吗？
Just love your magic. Life is short anyways.
太狂了吧
And use these to respond to literally anything you already sound like a Taiwanese.
Legit Mando, Monday to Friday, 7:50 p.m. on TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching Taiwan Plus. For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, please download the Taiwan Plus app. We're about the same size.
Welcome back. You're watching Taiwan Plus News. NASA's Orion space capsule splashed down in the Pacific Ocean on Sunday. Its return to Earth brings the Artemis 1 lunar mission to a successful close. It also sets up some astronomical plans for future space exploration. Ryan Hoker-Patrick has more.
Making a splash as the Orion space capsule from NASA's Artemis 1 returns home. This caps off its 25-day journey around the moon and back. It's a space mission that will go down in history.
This is a great day, not only for America, but it's a great day for all of our international partners. That's a difference from 50 years ago. It is the beginning of the new beginning. and that is to explore the heavens.
The Artemis program is the long-awaited successor to the historic Apollo program, which first took humanity to the moon. Although the Orion capsule's flight was uncrewed, it carried a spacecraft designed for humans to once again get close to the lunar surface.
You know, as we progress, we'll land on the moon, we'll step foot on the moon, and then we'll extend the time we're on the moon longer and longer. And so those are the times where, for the human, we'll be just bursting with data, and we'll have tons of work to do, and it's incredibly exciting.
The capsule arrived back on Earth on Sunday, 50 years to the day after the Apollo program's final lunar landing. But the aim of the Artemis program is ultimately to look far beyond just the moon.
The plan is to get ready to go with humans to Mars late in the decade of the 2030s, and then even further beyond. And we know from what we are finding from the James Webb Space Telescope that it is a very, very large universe out there to be understood and explored.
For now, these dates may seem far off, but the success of Artemis 1 has set the stage for humanity to launch a whole new era of space exploration.
Back to the moon and beyond.
Ryan Hochul-Patrick for TaiwanPlus.
Back in Taiwan, campaigners in Taipei have raised money for Ukraine by organizing a one-of-a-kind Christmas market. Funds from the event on Sunday will help people without gas or electricity this winter. Ukraine is facing blackouts and freezing temperatures while Russia continues to bomb its power grid. Stash Butler has the story.
The campaign group Taiwan Stands with Ukraine here in Western Taipei has brought together food, they've brought together drinks and music, all of it to raise money for Ukraine as Russia's invasion of the country enters its 10th month.
Main goal is to raise some fund and also to make awareness that war is still ongoing and people need help, people need support.
Because it's winter right now, and I think that on the front lines in Ukraine, what they really, really desperately need is heating supplies and energy, basically. So that's what we're trying to fundraise for today.
Russian bombing campaigns have wrecked Ukraine's energy grid. That's left Ukrainians to suffer through sub-zero temperatures without heating, electricity or water.
My family is still in Ukraine. It's still very unsafe. So I still worry every day about them, about their safety.
People would just stick on there.
Campaigners here have been the driving force behind a series of protests in Taiwan showing solidarity with Ukraine. They say peace there is worth fighting for, and not just because of parallels between the two countries.
To me, it's just solidarity with any oppressed group. And with Ukraine, we see very obvious parallels between how Russia has treated Ukraine historically and how China has treated Taiwan historically. It just feels right, morally.
Some people still believe that it's far away and it's nothing to do with them. But I think that freedom and democracy is the things which should touch everyone. Doesn't matter how far you are.
Christmas is not a major part of the festive calendar for most Taiwanese, but that hasn't stopped people here from coming to show their support from Ukraine and to soak up a little bit of the festive spirit. Howard Tang and Stash Butler in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's top women's badminton player has lost out on a fourth singles title at the year-end championship in Bangkok. Dai Zing had to settle for second at the World Tour Finals on Sunday, hosted by the Badminton World Federation. She lost 18-21 and 20-22 to Japan's Akane Yamaguchi in two closely fought games. Taiwan's great variety of fish makes it a seafood lover's dream, and on the offshore islands of Penghu, there are a few especially prized species, and their price tags are going up. Eric Gao has the details.
Thick cutlets of Indo-Pacific king mackerel. They're one of the most prized fish caught in waters off Taiwan's Penghu Islands, valued for their meat. This and another species are some of the most valuable caught in the area. Spanish mackerel normally sells for about $130 US per kilogram, but the price has been going up recently. As fish like these get rarer, the price is only going to go up. Seafood fans may need to be prepared to splash out even more down the line. Eason Pan and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Speed stacking is a sport that's especially popular among children. Taiwan hosted the annual international championships this weekend, with the local team claiming a huge medal haul. Sally Jensen has more.
Over in the blink of an eye, stacking and unstacking these cups took just 2 seconds from start to finish. But was it fast enough? Team Taiwan claimed 13 gold, 13 silver and 14 bronze in this year's event. One of the big winners was 12-year-old Sama Basao of the indigenous Sadiq people, who set a world record in her age category event of 2.067 seconds. She also had the best overall performance of any female competitor in the event. Her teammate Yen Cheng-yo also holds a world record. He says it takes a lot of hard work to compete at this level.
每天都练，大概2到3小时，多少会一点，但是我会尽全力。
All that hard work paid off with dozens of medals added to the team's trophy case. Asnaya Zhou, Irene Wu and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. I'm Yin Khvat. Take care and see you next time.